We've got to work with the left side on this one. I see the sum in the middle, so I'm going to use the sum formula here. So this is going to be the cosine of theta times the cosine of k pi minus the sine of theta times the sine of k pi. Now what we can do is we can use the double angle. Well, actually we can't, because we don't know if these are doubles or not. So look, we could use the product to sum. That would work. So what can I say here? I could say the following. From this point right here, I can reason through why this guy appears true. But let's just see if we can't do it out computationally. Actually, I can't use that. No. We might have to just reason it out. So, okay, so here's what I'm going to say for the reason. First of all, k times pi, what does that look like? Well, that's multiples of pi. So if you're looking at a unit circle, if you're looking at multiples of pi, you're looking at the following angles. You're looking at, here's pi, here's 2 pi, here's 3 pi, 4 pi, back and forth. So our angles are either 0 degrees or 180 degrees or any multiple of that. So let's talk about these guys down here. Clearly, sine at any multiple at either of these spots, sine is 0. So this guy has to be 0. Because regardless of what k is, so in the problem they say k is an integer, meaning that k is in this group of people. Okay, it's one of those guys. So if you plug in any one of these values for k, you're going to end up at either this spot or this spot. Okay, so you got to end up at one of those two. So the height value, which is what sine measures, the height value has to be 0. Which means that sine of theta times 0, guys, that guy is 0. So we're subtracting 0. Now what about this guy? Well, over here, this guy is going to be, has got to be, what does it have to be? Well, this doesn't seem right at all. Because this guy is either going to be -1 or +1. So if k, so okay, so this guy is either one of these two. It's either -1 or it's +1. Which means that if k is 0, okay, so let's talk about the k values. If k is 0, then this guy is going to give me out this block right here. If k is 0, put me at 0. This will give me out +1. If k is 1, okay, it'll give me pi out, which is 180, which will give me -1. If k is 2, that's 2 times pi. We're right over here, so that'll give me +1 out. If k is 3, it'll be back over here, which will be -1, and this thing's going to repeat. So notice when k is even, the value that we're going to get out is +1. When k is odd, the value that we're going to get out is -1. So this guy is going to be -1. Okay, now we want it to be +1 for even values, like squares or whatever. Okay, So if k, if we just put k up here, when it's an even number, this guy will equal 1. When k is an odd number, it'll be -1, which is what I want through here. But here's the problem with this problem. There was a cosine here. So I think that this was a typo from where I got this problem. I think that this guy should be times cosine theta. Because this guy is going to be either -1 or +1, depending on the k value. And this guy is going to be whatever the cosine of that is. So I'm going to change it on the worksheet so that it makes more sense for you. So when you're watching this video, obviously the first part of it's not going to make as much sense as the second part of it.